Treyarch is so much better than Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer. Now you're probably wondering why I say this. And well, I have a perfectly well-explained explanation for you. See what I did there? So if you don't know, Treyarch has developed World at War and the Black Ops franchise. And well, World at War was basically Black Ops 1, and the only real 3 Black Ops games there are World at War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2, and because Black Ops 3 wasn't I don't consider it a Black Ops game, not whatsoever. Why? The story mode has no relevancy, or whatever you call it, to the other 2 games. Like, for example, you have Reznov in World at War and a couple other characters in World at War that were brought back in Black Ops, yet none of the characters from any of those, like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, World at War, were ever even mentioned in Black Ops 3. That's one of the only complaints I really have about Treyarch, and other than that, they've been a great game studio. I like Black Ops way better than Modern Warfare, a hell of a lot better than Modern Warfare 2. And I would definitely recommend those games over Modern Warfare games. Now you're probably like, but Blee! Modern Warfare was a classic! Yes, I agree. I do not think it's the very best COD game ever made. Absolutely not. I believe Black Ops 1, the very first Black Ops game, other than World at War of course, was the very best Call of Duty game ever made. The story and feel and everything about it is just so much better than Modern Warfare. You know, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the story is very complicated, and at the end there's kind of a mind duck. I said duck. And I think it might be combined with, like, nostalgia or something, but it just makes the game so awesome, and the multiplayer is just... It's just amazing! Like, it has a feel and gameplay style that most CODs even before it and after it couldn't have. It's really hard to explain because you need to play the game yourself to understand. And, well, many people play it and then they go, well, the story mode wasn't all that special. Well, that's because they didn't get themselves immersed into it and didn't pay attention to most things. It's a brilliant planned story. Even with, like, World at War, Black Ops 2, and all of those combined, it just makes one big, great story. And I love that about Black Ops. Now, you're probably like, well, Modern Warfare has its own, like, story in its other games. Well, yeah, but it's basically like every other story you'll hear, like, ooh, bad guy did bad thing. Oh, go in and try to kill bad guy. Uh-oh, conflict. Ooh, well, we finally got to the bad guy. Oh, no, it seems hopeless. Oh, looks like bad guy died. Oh, yeah! That's kind of how I see the campaigns of Modern Warfare. Like, it's nothing really special. It feels like you've already experienced that campaign before, and it's just not special enough. Now, there's one company that I haven't really been talking about, and that's Sledgehammer. Now, Sledgehammer is, well, it's Sledgehammer. They were kind of forced to make Advanced Warfare, which I kind of understand. And they didn't do a very good job at it, either. Like, Advanced Warfare was, like, the biggest, like, mistake of COD games. Well, I mean, other than that one, but we don't talk about that one. But they've kind of, well, tried to redeem themselves with Call of Duty World at War 2. Or World War 2. I can't speak today. But there's one thing that people talk about World War 2, like it's copying Battlefield 1. It's not copying Battlefield 1. In fact, they probably started production before Battlefield 1 was even announced, so, yeah. That's a good thing about Sledgehammers. They listen, but they haven't made enough games for me to really judge them, but so far, I kind of really don't like them. They're on my second on COD Dev, first being Treyarch, and last being Infinity Ward, because they've made mistakes in the past. Like, for example, look at Modern Warfare 2. That was a disaster. Absolutely horrible. I mean, the trick shots were pretty cool, but the multiplayer is unbalanced. Many people aimbot and get away with it, and it's just like, to me, Modern Warfare 2 is one of those games, like, let's compare it with Amnesia Machine for Pigs. Alright? I don't hate it, but I don't like it. Alright? It could have been done a lot better, and I can point out things that it could have been a lot better in the game. And I'm not going to do that. That's for a separate video, because I will literally spend 57 minutes naming all the things they could have done better in the game. That were, like, obvious things, too. Like, there's so many obvious ones, there's a little bit less, but still so many not-so-obvious ones, and yeah, you get it. I'd say that probably, yeah, the only mistake I've seen with Treyarch so far is Black Ops 3. Now, its multiplayer was fun, but its zombies was horrible. Its campaign, well, by itself campaign wasn't actually all that bad, but calling it a Black Ops game and it only having anything to relate with Black Ops as it being Call of Duty and having the Black Ops team in it is kind of a little bit kinda not good to do at all. It's kind of misleading, don't you think? And that's the only that's the only real mistake I see with Treyarch. And of course, Infinity Ward, you got all this freaking... You know, I'm gonna compare it with horror games again. I compare a lot of things with horror games because I like to joke around about it, and I like to praise Amnesia because it's the very best horror game, and no one can tell me differently. But it's like, all the Modern Warfare games are like, and Infinite Warfare included, are just like modern horror games, alright? They're circled around one thing, and they leave all the other things out. You know how horror games, all they want to do these days is just scare you, and that's it? Like, they're not even fun at all. That's what I feel about, like, Modern Warfare. I'm gonna call it Modern Warfare Juice because it doesn't really have a name. It's like, Modern Warfare reminds me of Destiny, and as you know, Destiny is a horrible game, and you're probably like, how does that remind you of Destiny other than the dude shooting? Well, it's one of those games that are just, like, grind-worthy. They don't care about the campaign anymore. I mean, the first Modern Warfare, his campaign was actually not that bad, but they don't really care anymore. And it's just horrid to see such a good series go down the dumpster because the people who made it don't know how to treat it. You know? It's like seeing a dirty poodle, you know? It could be beautiful if they knew how to treat it. And everyone praises them because they do good at one thing. And they get overrated and shoved down your throat because they do so good with that one thing, yet nothing else is good. For example, Modern Warfare Juice again. It's like... I can't describe what Modern Warfare Juice is. It's just that Modern Warfare feel and the grind, and, like, that's it. Like, it's just the grind. Or that's what it kind of feels like. It's complicated. I'm really excited to see what kind of game Treyarch makes next, because after COD World War II, which is one I'm probably not going to get and play, because honestly I'm so bored out and so uninterested in a Call of Duty game set in World War II right now, that I would rather play Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam, and we all know how horrible that was. I really hope it's a Black Ops 4 or something that has to do with Black Ops, except it's more like in the Black Ops 2 kind of modern area, and it continues on to the story of the Masons and maybe even Woods. What happens to Woods? Does he get like immortality or something, and he's like some kind of wise old man teaching people about war just like Black Ops 2, or what are they gonna, like, is Mason still alive, or like are they gonna do something weird like that? Like, I really want to. I would love to see something like that, and I really don't think, or I really hope that Treyarch do that, because it would just warm my heart to see that. All I know is next time Treyarch release a Call of Duty game, I'm instantly pre-ordering it. All I know, I don't care what it is, if it's like freaking pre-cum warfare or something like that. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it. And if it's not good, I have given up all hope on the Call of Duty series, and I'm moving on to something else. Battlefield has screwed up in the past, but they're kind of redeeming themselves. I mean, you did get the Battlefront, which they should have called it something else, because Battlefront from 2005 and stuff like that was... those games were absolute classics, and they shouldn't have named them Battlefront. They should have named them, like, the Star Wars on the Battlefield or something. Something weird like that. Battlefront's not a bad game. It's just, they should have named it something else, because there's already a Battlefront, and whenever you say Battlefront these days, whenever you're meaning the 2005 version, all these kids think you're meaning the new 2016, 17, 15 kind of version. So to wrap this up, Infinity Ward is basically Cadence, Lunicorn, whatever her name is, channel. You know, it's overrated, the person that runs it is an absolute jerk, that kind of stuff. So anyways, that was my rants and kind of kiss butt-ness of Treyarch and Call of Duty and just stuff like that. I hope you guys really enjoy my new style of videos. For now on, I'm posting whatever I want. I don't care what anybody says about it. I don't care how much views it gets. Nothing. So, yeah, I'm posting what I want when I want because since January, I've just been feeling forced to post this one type of breezy duplication content, and it's just not healthy. I want to post what I want to post, and now that I've broken free of that seam, I'm just gonna post mostly reviews and ranting videos and stuff like this. Maybe I'll go back to doing some like Gary's Mod funny moments and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna just copy Breezy. I want stuff to be fun to edit and all that. And this video was very fun to edit. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoy this. Smash a like. The video's at 10 minutes. I can finally end it. Bye.
せーのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化